federation on condition that Southwest and Northwest are not together. This was the position that the Southwest brought to dialogue. And the Southwest said, 10-state federation. They were for federation, but 10-state federation. With these arguments, there is provision for special status. So let us go back now to this constitution and see how this special status can help Northwest and Southwest remain a little bit independent, but at the same time, not within the federation. This was a compromise position that came out of the dialogue because the Southwest position was that they wanted federation but nothing to do with the Northwest. These are clear facts of history that we lived through in the Grand National Dialogue.
My country people then, I did record this presentation middle of December 2024 with the intention for publishing by the 26th of December 2024. So if you want to listen to the sound of my voice today, I hope so you will get a fantastic Christmas 2024 and I wish you all a prosperous new year 2025. The purpose of this recording and presentation now for explain to you things the way they will transpire for 2019 at the major national dialogue. Things the way we lived through, our experiences, so if we talk while we were still there alive for posterity, so that the future generations, they're not going to be lied to, they're not going to be manipulated and fooled about the things the way they transpire in our time. We get a duty and a responsibility for make sure say we archive and we document these events and things the way we pass through, so that we will record them and keep them for future generations and for understand the political calculations that we make them in our own time and how it will impact and affect their lives in the future. So today we get the special status for the anglophone zone. The question is, how did we get here? It all stems from the Grand National Dialogue or the Major National Dialogue, where it be held from the 30th of September 2019 to the 4th of October that same year. So for that dialogue, as my face see the pictures them on the screen, now the Prime Minister, His Excellency Chief Dr. John Gute, when a person will come from Dian Division for Southwest, and Minister Felix Mbayu, when a minister delegate in charge of the Commonwealth, where they work under Ministry of External Relations. Now the two people in that way they will be key for conceive and manage and implement and execute the major national dialogue. The President of the Republic, His Excellency President Paul Biya, it will be prepared and accommodating for take the recommendations of the major national dialogue and put them into effect. The form of state it will be on the table and we end up with the special status. Why? How did that happen? This was the golden opportunity where Anglophones they don't always want them for change the form of state of Cameroon. People the way they don't always want two-state federation. This was your opportunity and we mess them up. Why? Because now we Anglophones we decide say lie to lie, we no go ever get two-state federation inside Cameroon. This is the story, my country people then.
I preach peace, and I still stand for peace as I'm talking now. One of the things is that I led the peace caravan to preach peace and reconciliation among the peoples. And I came down to the southwest, to Boya, and we did all this talking about peace, and we asked people to go out and see how to preach peace and reconciliation to their communities. The national dialogue came. And the national dialogue came as a forum for people to vent out exactly how they were feeling. There is something I must tell you and those who are seeing me, who are all your televiewers. People have been talking about special status. And I want these people to understand, because when I came out of the Grand Dialogue, I did a 2-hour interview with Radio Evangelium of Manfred to explain to the people what had happened in dialogue. What happened? When we went in for a grand dialogue, I must be clear to you, the bishops of this province had already put out a memorandum to the Prime Minister in preparation for the dialogue to stand for federation. We said federation. And this is how we went into the dialogue. Now, this is what I want to explain to your televiewers.
Right.
When we went into that dialogue and we started talking, this was still the opening of the dialogue. It was Chief, the late Foumban, who got up and he made an analysis. All the videos are still there. Foumban started by saying that the position of the Southwest was that they don't want to have anything to do with the Northwest. And that if they are talking about federation, the Southwest position was that they didn't want any federation as long as that would have them to do with the Northwest. We're all in this hall. And Mukete went back to history to analyze the divisions and the disagreements between Southwest and Northwest. And that federation on condition that Southwest and Northwest are not together. Now, when he said this, this was the position that the Southwest brought to dialogue. And the Southwest said, 10-state federation. They were for federation, but 10-state federation. One man from the east and one from the north got up and said, look, we have never been a state. Why do you want to force us into statehood? You say you want 10 states. Why are you forcing us to be a state? You were a state, you know what it means. We have never been. So we don't want state. Big argument broke out in the hall. And in the end, it is some lawyer who got up and went back to the Constitution and said, okay, with these arguments, there is provision for special status. Okay. So let us go back now to this Constitution and see how this special status can help Northwest and Southwest remain a little bit independent, but at the same time, not within the Federation. This was a compromise position that came out of the dialogue because the Southwest position was that they wanted federation but nothing to do with the Northwest. These are clear facts of history that we lived through in the Grand National Dialogue. So now people are arguing, oh, they want federation, they want this and the other. We sat in that hall and this is how the word special status came about. This is something that we can say is the fruit of the dialogue. And since then, what I think is that the decentralization process and the process of the independence or the autonomy of the regions has to be hastened. We are doing a lot of talking and very little is happening practically. The regions should be empowered and the regions should be able to take their own development into their hands. Then this problem will take a different dimension. This is the fruit of the dialogue. Okay. And so we cannot say nothing happened in the dialogue. And I want this history to pass very clearly how special status came about. Because of the disagreement that occurred in the hall between Northwest and Southwest. This is how we quarreled in the hall. It was a very big quarrel. Since I am a man of many worlds, I unfortunately found myself between the Northwest parliamentarians and the Southwest parliamentarians. So I was the one who was almost dividing the fight in the hall with Bishop George Nko. This is a reality. So people just come and enter the story in chapter 3. They don't understand how it came about. And this is what I want our televiewers to understand.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Grace. At least now we have an understanding of what eventually brought about the special status. And Your Grace, coming back to our talking point, the question now we're asking, with the untold suffering, and this major national dialogue was meant to bring solutions to this crisis. No, but the crisis is still ongoing. How do we reconcile these two facts that people sat to bring solutions to a problem, but the problem about years after, the problem is still ongoing and people are still dying, people are still suffering? How do you reconcile these facts?
Let me tell you something, my daughter. Dialogue is not an event. Dialogue is a process. The Grand National Dialogue was an event. But the dialogue to solve the crisis is a process. And the Grand National Dialogue was the beginning of that process. We are within the process of ongoing dialogue. And that's why I say there are many things we cannot say on television.
Okay.
But we are having all kinds of meetings on all sides. We are meeting all kinds of people, both in the international community and locally. And dialogue is continuing to see how to bring an end to this crisis. And one of the things which is clear to me at this point is that this crisis will not be solved by force. This dialogue has to continue until we reach a point where there is an understanding and there is a solution. So dialogue, the Grand National Dialogue, was not meant to be a magic solution to the crisis. The Grand National Dialogue was the beginning of a process. When that process will end, we don't know, but the process is ongoing.
So the Archbishop, he don't talk say, the dialogue is an ongoing process, not an event. The actual Grand National Dialogue was an event, but the dialogue amongst Anglophones must continue. So, who be Archbishop Andrew Nkia for comment or for talk about the Anglophone crisis? Very important question.
Okay. Thank you so much, Your Grace, for giving us that information. Now, Your Grace, coming from the Diocese of Boya and having experienced the Diocese of Mamfe as Bishop, before going to Bamenda as an Archbishop, how much has this world of experience from the different dioceses shaped your leadership at the helm of the ecclesiastical province?
I think on the day I was installed in Bamenda, on the 22nd of February 2020, I explained that this is something God had done without us realizing. I was born in Widikum, in the Archdiocese of Bamenda. My father used to work there. And then from Widikum, my father was transferred to Kumbu. So I grew up and did primary school in Kumbu. And from Kumbu, my father was transferred to Limbe. And I finished my primary school there. And of course, I did my secondary school and high school around here. And after that, when I went to the major seminary, I spent 7 years. My first appointment was in Bonge Mission, which is the Diocese of Kumba. And after Bonge Mission, I went to Nyandong, Western Bakosi, which is the Diocese of Kumba. So in this way, I have a feel of what the whole province is all about. I didn't know that moving around like this, I was getting all these experiences to help me in the work that God was preparing me to do. But I'm thankful to God that I had those experiences because they have helped me tremendously in my work as Archbishop of Bamenda.
So when I don't hear what way Archbishop Andrew Nkia talk about your background and based on your origins, usa where the boni, usa where you grow, and your education, your heritage, your experience, and your qualification, now the most qualified and uniquely positioned individual this where if it opine or give opinions on the Anglophone crisis and a person that will be present at the Grand National Dialogue. It don't experience everything where any Anglophone if it experience them inside Cameroon. So it being a person where it be unbiased and it no be politician, so it no get a stake in the whole game. So it just being for the truth and for advocate for the peace, tranquility, and the prosperity of the people them in the Anglophone zone as one of the sons from the soil in the Anglophone zone. So it be uniquely positioned. Now, one of the people in this way we need for listen to hear when they talk, because it not sway one side or the other. It be straight, narrow down the line in the middle, because it not be politician and it be interested in the truth, nothing but the truth, and for see what people they progress and prosper. So when I get a background, when I understand, when I see the wealth of experience where it bring them into the game. Now make we go back for talk about Widikum, who's how the Bonnie. Archbishop Andrunkia be born for 1965 for Widikum, where it be under Southwest Province. Yes, I know. Many of you know understand say Widikum it used to be under the Southwest Province. I go explain further, but before I get to that part, when I listen to John Akuru, one other person where he come out from Momo Division, he go explain a little bit of the misconceptions and some of the lies the way Anglophones they don't tell themselves, and then I go can analyze and explain further for better understand also the Northwest, about the Northwest and the Southwest, and then I go explain for una why that one it be na a lie, and now why that way I bring Widikum into this picture. When I listen,
you heard him cry about the Liberty Seaport. You heard him cry about the Tico Airport. You heard him cry about this, but he's the same man who said that someone's knee was on the neck of the so-called Southwest. And you know, he was trying to push there an unfortunate narrative created by La République du Cameroon in their drive to divide and rule the people of the Southern Cameroons. Because as Southern Cameroonians, we never had anything called Northwest and Southwest. You know, we had 4 or 5 divisions. I heard about the Bamenda division, the Kumba division, the Kambe division, and all of those, the Manfe division. We never had something called Northwest, Southwest. It was created by La République du Cameroon with the clear purpose or intention of dividing us to better rule us. And people like Belamoki, I call them, slave children, find themselves therefore feeding on that kind of trash. Because I asked this question when Belamoki is talking about the Limbe Deep Sea Port.
So when I don't hear John Akuru, it be the talk for December 2024, and of course it attack now one of the elites from the Southwest region, Senator Charles Mbelamoki, where it be the talk say someone's knee is on the neck of the Southwesterner. The Southwesterners them they complain about this over domination from the Northwest. Say the Northwesterners, the way they don't move into the Southwest region, they over dominate them even in their own land. But we will come to that. Another point on the side note na say John Akuru na person we come from Batibo from Momo Division. Now make we go back for where John Akuru come for talk about say the Northwest and the Southwest regions or provinces were created by the Cameroon government in order for control the Anglophone zone. Listen and listen attentively. That is a categorical lie. John Akuru will be educated and knowledgeable enough for no say the Southwest and the Northwest, as it be called today, it will be divided since in the time of the Trust Territory era. Now the British, they will divide these 2 territories them for administrative purposes them. John Akuru go on for talk say they will get the Kumba division, the Manfe division, the Nkambe division, and it talks say about 4 or 5 divisions. Actually, there were 6 divisions, but there were 2 provinces. In order for give una the concrete evidence, I don't download the documents them from the United Nations archives where I go present them to una for this next segment. This is where the Widikum segment comes in. Make we go back to 1957. We look at the reports and where they come up from the United Nations. My country people them. These documents are downloaded from the United Nations archive. Many Anglophones that always talk about Resolution 1608, the United Nations, Trust Territory, Trusteeship, and all of those things, but many of them never actually ever read the Trusteeship Agreement where it will be signed between the British and the United Nations. Under the Trusteeship Agreement, the United Kingdom, as the administering authority, it will get a responsibility for produce this yearly report on the progress for the trust territories them, because they will get a mandate for prepare these trust territories them towards self-governance or independence. So every year they will produce a report where it will be sent to the United Nations General Assembly for a report on the development, economic, social, and other things for the territory where they be the administrator. So one of such documents, now this one where the show now, the Cameroons under UK administration, a report by Her Majesty's government of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland to the General Assembly of the United Nations for the year 1957. So this document, it will actually be filed at the United Nations for 1958. Any person, if you go for United Nations archive, you go download this document, examine them for yourself, and you look at the content. And I bring on this document for make a specific point, make it be clear, make one understand. Two things that I want for bring on to now for explain how we come about with the Northwest and the Southwest divide. Firstly, when I need for know say this idea for Northwest and Southwest, as some people they will come up for 2024, they can't lie for una. No be Cameroon government, it create that division, it divide Northwest and Southwest. No, it was done by the British way back in the 1950s, and I go prove for una for this document. So if we scroll all the way down, we keep going, I want for show una the census where it will be carried out, for show una the population demographics, for explain one or two things, and for now we scroll down all the way to the census. Right, so for this page 132, as Nafisi and for here, they talk about the census of the population of the Trust Territory between 1921 and 1953. So Nafisi, if we scroll down small, now we see table 2, where the right hand for this. So the census for the southern areas for British Southern Cameroon, they conduct them for 1953, and the census for Northern Cameroon, they conduct them for 1952. So Nafisi, now the total, that for the census. And now make una look at something. Wait, me I bring una for this page for show una na in this. Now look at for here. So the southern areas, it will be divided into two provinces, the Bamenda province and the Cameroons province, today known as the southwest region of Cameroon, and the Bamenda province is today known as the northwest region of Cameroon. So why me I bring una for this page for show una this document now from 1957. Now the British, they divide that territory into the Bamenda province and the Cameroons province. Sometimes this one they call them the Cameroons province. It used to be referred to as the forest province or the forest region, whereas the Bamenda province it used to refer them as the grassfield province or the grassfield region. So now for their way we take this word say graphy. So people they use them as if not kosh. No be kosh. If you call me graphy, I'm 100% happy with that because I am from the grassfield area. Okay? And the southwesterners, then the southwest region of Cameroon today, it used to be called the Cameroons province, as the British they call them. So people the way they come now for this modern day 2024, they can't lie about this history. They can't tell when I say, oh, na Cameroon, na Yaoundé, they use divide and rule, divide and conquer for divide the northwesterners from the southwesterners. That's a big fat lie. Now the British they divide this territory since in the 1950s. So now evidence that I don't prove for now. So the census it tell when I say the total number of people that they come out from the northwest or Bamenda province now 429,000, whereas from the southwest region or the Cameroons province now 323,700, according to that census where we conducted for 1953. So since back then, when I see say the northwest or Bamenda province, a population, it don't always be bigger than the population for the southwest region. So when I see under the Bamenda province, you get these three districts then. The Bamenda district, then Cambe district, and the Wom district. Whereas under the Cameroons province, where in the modern day southwest region, you will get the Kumba division, the Manfe division, and the Victoria division. That's where Vikuma comes from. Victoria, Kumba, Manfe. Now the three divisions, and that way they will make up the Cameroons province or the southwest region, according to the British demarcation way they be divide this territory then for administrative purposes then. Whereas the northern part of the territory, the Bamenda province, if you get the Bamenda district, Nkambe district, and the Wom district. Now the reason this way, majority of the southwest people them, whenever you talk, say you come on from the northwest, they call it Bamenda man. This is where this comes from, because all man, where if you come out from the northwest region, at that time, back in the days, the whole of the northwest region where we know them today, it used to be called the Bamenda province. So that's why any person will come out from northwest. It no matter whether you be Momo, when a Mogamo people them, we become original people them, or you been a person will come out from So, or you come out Kambe, or you come out from Mancon. Any man will come out from the northwest region, it be referred to as Bamenda man, because you be coming out from the Bamenda province. That is where this comes from. Now the British, they start this thing because they will take knife, just divide the population. Talks to this part now we'll call them Bamenda province, and this part we'll call them, say, the Cameroon's province. No be Cameroon government do am, na the British. Make una understand una history. Now, for come to that part about Widikum, who's our the born Archbishop in Kea, I want make una look at this. If we keep scrolling down for that document, we come to this page where they talk about the CDC, Cameroon's Development Corporation, and they talk about the analysis of the employees by tribe as of the 31st of December 1957. So if I look on the screen, I go see what they talk about, ma show una. So now I will show now some things where they be peculiar about this document and explain where it be important about this document. I also get the graphical representation where una fit see am where I do am for Excel spreadsheet for show una the significance of the dominance of the labor force where it be migrate from the Bamenda province into the Cameroon's province into the southwest region, because they be want for go seek employment, greener pastures, especially for get employment for CDC plantations them. So if you look they group according to tribes. Remember that the British, they produced this document for 1957. So under the Victoria division, they get up to 658 people the way they be employed for CDC. They give the tribe the Bakweri, the Balong, and all the other ones them. Okay, now you get the Kumba division, you get the Bafo, Bakosi, and all these ones that when I see for them Bonge, all these people, they get 1,754 people them under the Kumba division where they be employed for CDC. Now, this one, now the part that this way it be important where me kuna look am. If when I say I'm right at the bottom there, you see Widikum. Now Widikum that it get 87 people them they be employed at CDC for 1957. When now people they come out from Widikum, but they fall under Manfred division. I bet many of you know. Say Widikum, about 90% of Momo people they originate now from Widikum. Now Widikum indigenous people them. Widikum itself, it be fall under the Cameroon's province, under Manfred division. Make una understand this reality. And this thing only changed recently. It changed now in the late 80s or the early 90s, if I'm not mistaken. Widikum be been under Manfred, and no be been under Batibo till recently, before Widikum get the own subdivision. Even the majority of Widikum people, the way they are alive today, they will be born in Widikum under southwest region. Make una understand that one. So when I see am now say even the population for Widikum, they will be classify them as people the way they under the Cameroon's province for the southwest region back then in 1957, and still the population for Southwest, it will still be lower than the population for the Bamenda province. And then again, over the years, they don't extract certain territories, them like the Widikum people, them, they don't come out of Manu, out of the Southwest, join back for the Northwest region, where it means that they bring along with them more population, we can add to the population for Northwest. So there is no comparison when you want to talk about the population demographics between the Northwest and the Southwest. The Northwesterners, they outweigh the Southwesterners them by far. Even if you now look at the population where they be involved, where they be employed in the CDC, even though the CDC it be found in the southwest region, you could see and say this. So for this graph we did on the screen for now, the vast majority of the people that they be employed at the CDC, now people there they come from the Bamenda province. And then the second largest group, now even Nigerians. And now the third group where it be now indigenous people then from the southwest region where they be employed in the CDC. So the total number of people the way they will be employed at the CDC for 1957 now 17,809. of which 38% they will come out from Bamenda province and 31% they will be Nigerians. Now only 26% of the employees for CDC for 1957 they come out from the Cameroon province, where today now the southwest region of Cameroon, and then 5% of the workforce will come out from French Cameroon. This one has statistics where it come out from 1957.
Someone's knee is on the neck of Southwesterners, and this is the moment we should get out of what it is. We are being cowed to keep quiet and not to tell the truth. This is not normal. How many times will Southwesterners cry? Their farmlands have all been taken. Their bushes, in fact, their villages have been invaded and taken, and the natives driven away. We want to talk, they call it hate speech. What do you call hate speech? If you want to talk about hate speech, look at the causes of the hate speech.
Last year for 2023, at the funeral of the 6 Indian delegates where they will be murdered by Ambazona terrorists, Senator Mbelamoki Charles will make this pronouncement. Say someone's knee is on the necks of the Southwesterners. So a lot of people they come out there as usual for castigate and for intimidate and for attack the senator for daring to speak the truth. Today, no matter the reason this why they make this presentation, but I want to summarize what we have been making for 2023, where I will explain. So the Southwesterners they get a legitimate fear of over domination and intimidation by the Northwesterners. And remember, I said the people the way they accuse the senator and the Southwesterners of hate speech, now the same so-called Ambazonians today, where they talk, say they drive all francophones them, say frogs must go, and all of those slogans the way they use them. Basically, anglophones are the most disingenuous human beings the way I don't ever see them. They preach hate speech at the same time they complain, say some other person they talk hate speech. But where the anglophones are the worst when it comes to hate speech, they hate francophones for no just cause, for no just reason. But they no want make the Southwesterners they talk something where it be glaringly true, say they be over dominated even in their own land. And I guarantee when I say after Mbelamoki Charles will come out make that pronouncement, say someone's knee is on the neck of the Southwesterner, every single person where it be kick against, where it be attack the senator, it be being a Northwesterner, 100%. The people that like John Akuru them from Batibo, Momo, the people the way they go attack this man for daring to speak the truth. Now all Northwesterners, 100%, I'm not talking 99.9. Now all Northwesterners, because the Southwesterners they go either listen them, they should not be quiet, or they go approve them, and they understand that these things are true. And I go bring on more evidence subsequently for the next part of this presentation, but make we wrap up this part of the presentation by concluding for tell when I say today for 2024 you go hear anglophones they talk say they get marginalization, they try for cry out about marginalization, no man need agree hear them. Now why that way they will be frustrated for carry guns go for bush. Listen to yourself speak. Now the same situation this way the Southwesterners they under, they are crying under the weight of the marginalization, domination and oppression from the people from the Northwest region. That is a fact. And every time where the Southwesterners they want to voice this out. Now what did our Senator Mbelamoki Charles talk say? We have been cowed to keep quiet, and every time we want to talk they call it hate speech. Now exactly what where we the Northwesterners we do for Southwesterners, and then with the cry say Cameroon government they do for we. Make we check ourselves. The Southwesterners have a legitimate cry of over domination. Now make a talk as picking where the born from Momo, raised for Momo, and the bury man Nintong for Momo. Make a talk one-on-one with my brothers the way na graphic people then. Whether you be in so from Bui division, or you been a person who come out from Cambe, or for Wom, or for Bello, or for Jakir, or for whether you come out from Fundong, for Boyo, or for Mezam itself inside the center for Bamenda. Ask yourself this simple question: what would be your reaction if some person come out from a different place, it can't form chieftaincy or fight for chieftaincy palaver inside your division, inside your village, or can't form your own village, bring your culture, maybe from the Bafo clan, or from the Bayangi, or from the Balondo, next to una village, it can form your own chieftaincy, it call itself chief, inside your ancestral land. What would be your reaction? Let us be honest, because I talk as a Momo person, me particularly, personally, and every single Momo person I know, will go kill the person, bury him for daylight and case it will go nowhere. There is not a single day whether you be white, black, green, or yellow, whether you be European, Australian, or wherever you come from, where you go can't claim say you be chief inside Momo land. And I know saying the same thing with insult people then. Now the same thing from Cambe and from Mezam and all over the northwest region. So make we know they take the hospitality of the Southwesterners then for granted. The people they be hospitable, yes, but maybe we not take them like say they been a mumu them. They are not stupid. So make we respect their cultures, we listen to their cries, and we respect the fact say it is a fact. Say the Northwest, it don't over dominate the Southwesterners, even in their own land. And this nonsense where some person come up from Momo, they go to fight chieftaincy for inside Southwest region. Let that nonsense stop, because you know that nonsense can never be allowed to happen inside Momo land. It will never happen, because we will kill the person for broad daylight. We need to ask question for no man. We would rather kill him, set an example, and then go prison. That is a fact. Why me I bring on these statistics? Now for explain the realities where the Southwesterners they don't live with. So this thing where they see themselves as being over-dominated, even in their own land, it not start from today. And this one's them now scientific, quantifiable evidence, documented evidence from 1957 for sure. When I say these people, they don't experience these things them, and these kind of small things them, it build up over time. For example, imagine say you be Bakosi man, you be Balondo, you be Bafo, you be even Manyuman or whatever. People the way they come out, the indigenous them from the southwest region, you come on and Bonge, or you come on from Dian and CDC plantation, then for your grandpa your land. And over the years them, when they work, you turn around, the majority of the people that they work for the CDC, they come on from the grassy land, as they call them, the grass field. So it built a level of resentment over the years. These are just facts, okay? These are just normal human natural things, the way they happen. For we, where we've been a black people for United Kingdom today, we make up less than about 13%, less than 13% of the population. We're now ethnic minorities, and maybe not even black now about 3 or 5%. Okay, but the white population, when now 90 how many percent, they resent they talk so we can't take their jobs. Then imagine the population of the southwest region, when they turn around, they look, they see the majority of the people that they work for CDC, now people that they come up from the Grassfield area, from the Bamenda province. Now, so these kind of small things, they don't build up on the ground. And we have to understand these realities, analyze them, understand them, educate ourselves about them, so that we understand certain decisions that when people they take the decisions them, so that make them not catch we by surprise, so that make we not make stupidity. We go say we want to create 2-state federation or whatever, and tomorrow it explode for our face, and we start talk say, oh, we did not know, how did this happen? No, these things have been building up for more than 60 to 70 years. As Nafi see for this document as way back as 1957, the British they write for paragraph 19 here say, the movement of younger men from Bamenda, Wom and Cambe divisions to the coastal area continued during the year, but at a decreased rate. They said this was mainly due to the awakening interest in the economic possibilities of growing coffee at home. The establishment of a large tea plantation at Ndu in Cambe division during 1957 also contributed to the decrease in intra-territorial migration. The only exception to this was the Wom division, from which a slight increase in the incidence of migration was reported.
Federation on condition that Southwest and Northwest are not together. This was the position that the Southwest brought to dialogue. And the Southwest said 10-state federation. They were for federation, but 10-state federation.
So for better understand why the Southwest indigenous population did fear any political union with the Northwesterners them, we get to critically analyze and look at the historical context. Because this fear it be grounded in truth and reality, it not just being a perception or figment of their imagination, there is a real deep-seated fear where it stems from reality and past events and things the way they don't happen. So we need to do ourselves justice by acknowledging and revisiting the past so that we could learn lessons from things the way they don't happen in the past, where it don't make the Southwest indigenous population today, they talk say no political union with the Northwest whatsoever. First thing first, when I need to understand, say, for 1950s, when the British, they would decide, say, they would give we a referendum for decide if to join Nigeria or Cameroon, the Southwest political elite, such as EML Endele, be advocate, say, make we join Nigeria. Whereas the KNDP and the Northwest political elites, like John Foncha, ST Muna them, they be advocate, say, make we join Cameroon. So on the 11th of February 1961, at the plebiscite, John Foncha KNDP be win for that election. We now listen.
And so they voted massively. And in the proportion of 233,751 for the Republic of Cameroon and only 97,741 for Nigeria. So that is democracy, because it was conducted by the United Nations. And at the end of the plebiscite, although the campaign was bigger and it was dictated that it was going to end in a bloodshed, it happened to be one of the most peaceful and orderly, respected, let's say, election we ever had.
So when I hear how John Foncha they recite the actual election results, read them from a piece of paper, day in your mind, because that the greatest political victory this way John Foncha don't ever achieve them for your life. It defeat the EML Endele political party. It successfully convinced the people for the former British Southern Cameroons for vote for join Cameroon. So now a big political victory that for John Foncha. So as a result of that victory, now John Foncha and the KNDP, they lead all the negotiations for the reunification of the Cameroon, the Foumban Constitutional Conference and all of those things. Now John Foncha, it be lead those negotiations. And when I know very well, it be well documented, say, Amadou Ahidjo, the president of Cameroon, it be give the draft federal constitution to John Foncha before the Foumban Constitutional Conference. John Foncha, it take that draft constitution, hide them from the other delegation because of their infighting, Yi and Endele. It no be want to make the other team they know where to wear a day inside the federal constitution, because it be want for negotiate positions for himself and he friends them for KNDP. So naturally, John Foncha and President Amadou Ahidjo, they be make deals during their discussions and negotiations, because now them win their side. Where a fight for reunification, they win, so they negotiate positions for themselves, where it be further exclude the Endele and the Southwest political elites. So the reality now say, for the 11 years of the Federal Republic of Cameroon, the two top positions then where they be occupied by people then from West Cameroon politicians them, it being the Vice President of the Federal Republic and the Prime Minister of West Cameroon. And all these two positions, they be held by Northwesterners them throughout the 11 years of the Federation, 100%. John Foncha himself personally, he be negotiate two top positions them for himself. He be being the Vice President of the Republic and also the Prime Minister of West Cameroon come the 1st of October 1961. So for 1965, John Foncha be forced by President Amadou Ahidjo for leave one of those positions then. So John Foncha he keep the position as Vice President of the Federal Republic, while with the position of the Prime Minister of West Cameroon it be transferred to Augustin Ngom Jua, where it be served for that position for 3 years till 1968. From 1968 till 1972, ST Muna it take over as Prime Minister of West Cameroon. So John Foncha it be remain as Vice President till 1970, when ST Muna it be take over the office of Vice President of the Federal Republic, and also it be also simultaneously occupy the office of Vice President and Prime Minister of West Cameroon at the same time for the last 2 years of the Federation. So Estimuna, if you go on for seat as President of the National Assembly for 15 years, from 1973 till 1988, you see the transition from President Amadou Ahidjo to President Paul Biya and other historical events where they happen, so that the people in this way, they don't occupy the biggest positions them inside that country since the reunification, and all of them, they come out now from the northwest region. So these are historical facts. No person in no fit debate or argue these realities the way I don't put them, because these are just fact. You know fit argue about that. Now people they try to deny this reality, or they don't want to talk them out. So one, they go can't talk say if you quote or you state these facts and reality, they will talk say you preach hate speech. That is ignorance, or now people the way they don't get an argument to make. So all what they get, as usual, like the people the way they call themselves Amazonians, they get not only insults, lies telling, and then they go call you names, and then they go vex, they go start shout at the top of their voice, because they have no evidence, they have no historical facts to back up their arguments, and they don't get any argument at all. So we have to study our history. We have to understand what happened so that we can explain what is happening now, and we can better predict or even prevent certain things that may not happen in the future. So my country people then, for make this point abundantly clear, when I listen to Professor Victor Julius Ngo, he be dead live on the 8th of March 2023 with Com Leonard on My Media Prime and Barrister Ashu Emmanuel, and they be discussed on this topic. When I listen.
The bottom line is this. You see, we should not deceive the population of Northwest and Southwest. We are not in the 1950s or early 1960s. We are in the 21st century. Those days when we were made to understand and feel that let me use it in the terminology at the time, that the Bamida grass field and those in the forest zone were one. Those days are gone. Let's be honest, those days are gone. The forest zone, the present day Southwest, and the Bamida grassfield, the present day Northwest. It will take a miracle for them, for these two regions. That's my view. At least I've moved around Southwest for some time. It will take a miracle. For the Southwest population. I'm not talking of the population of Southwest or population in Southwest population. Indigenous. To accept being in one, be it a federated state or whatever, with the present day Northwest.
Are there historical facts to justify you are saying, or you are just talking about sentiments here?
No, it's not a matter of sentiment. Let me just give you a rundown why that deep-rooted fear is there. In 1964, there was the creation of what? Vikuma.
Vikuma? What's the meaning of Vikuma?
Victoria Kumama.
Mafi.
Okay.
A political pressure group which stood for the preservation of the forest zone.
Identity.
Yes. Because it was believed that from 1959, the KNDP was dominating everywhere. To the extent that those in the forest zone felt very, very uncomfortable. I just give you two examples. When Victor E. Mukete was appointed board chair of CDC on the 1st of February 1961. 2-3 years later on, Daniel Nanga, under with the support of the KNDP, Daniel Nanga was a big financier of the KNDP. Daniel Nanga wanted, with the support of the KNDP, the KNDP wanted him to succeed Mukete. And what was done? Ahidjo, Fonja agreed to tell Ahidjo to appoint Mukete as an ambassador, so that post should be vacant. No, it's very true. That post should be vacant. So the whole thing leaked, and the MP for Kumba, Mr. Sona, quickly gathered his KNDP force zone and said, should Mukete be removed, that position must be given to somebody from the forest zone and not from the Bamida.
Because most of the laborers were from the northern zone.
Yes. And that if it is not done, they will walk out from the KNDP. That's how they was widely left aside. So this, and then in the several meetings were held in the forest zone, be it in Manfe, in Tiko, in Kumba, in Boya, arguing that they have to inform Amadou Ahidjo that if the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Cameroon comes from the grass field, the Bamida grass field, the Prime Minister of West Cameroon should come from the forest zone. Unfortunately, the forest zone politicians did not prepare their fight well. The rest is history. Vice President, Prime Minister, be it 1959, 1960, 1963, 1965, 1968, or from the
Prime Minister and Vice President?
Yes. But the Vice President from 1961 to 1965 was a Foncha. And at the same time, he was PM. When Joab became a PM in 1965, Foncha was a Vice President. When Mona became a Prime Minister in 1968, Foncha was Prime Minister. Foncha was Vice President.
Okay. The case is quite complicated.
No, I agree. I agree with him with all those facts. You see, but
we are talking about revisiting this UN resolution.
Because he said
you raised an issue of legitimacy to invoke it, but he is also raising other issues.
Yes, he's raising the issue of living together, which, well, it's difficult to go by because my wife is from Northwest. Most of my family has been married to people from the Northwest. We don't have any problem, but one has to admit that there is some form of hostility that is visible, but it is not peculiar to Southwest or to Northwest, or because in Balmayo, we had this incident where a whole minister of state stood and said, "Étranger, rentrez chez vous." In Balmayo, it was the same thing. It's the only place we don't have that type of thing is Douala here, but in Yaoundé itself, we had that place of where the immeuble Ikang is built, where they say the land belonged to a Bamileke woman, had a land title, and it was seized from her. And the title, I mean, she has a paper in the hand, but no land. So it's something very delicate. I know that there is love between the people, but
there is, you are right.
Well, somehow we, the politicians, we have to come up with some formula that can make living together easy.
So when I don't hear Barrister Ashu Emmanuel, where he come up from Manu, he agree with Professor Julius Ngo about the hostilities where it exists between the political elites from the southwest and the ones from the northwest. When I also hear Professor Victor Julius Ngo, he talk about Vikuma, the Victoria Kumba Manfe Alliance, political pressure group where they be formed since 1964 for protect the rights of the indigenous southwesterners so that they not could be over-dominated by the northwesterners. Professor Victor Julius Ngo, he also talk about the CDC, how they get a political mafia game for remove a southwesterner at the head of CDC and put a northwesterner, and they get a fight. These things that happen since in the early 60s. For tell when I say this deep-rooted fear of over-domination from the people of the Northwest, it don't start now today. It is a long-lasting thing, and it don't build animosity, it don't grumble in the background. From 2017, when I don't hear Anglophones, they don't agitate for so many years, say they want to control their resources, say they want to take charge of the economic activities and the resources in the Anglophone zone. Ask any person we talk to, say, which resources do you want to control? They will tell you, CDC, we didn't have for Southwest. For FACO, they want to control CDC, we didn't have for Ndian. They want to control Pamol. They want to control Limbe Seaport, the banana plantation, the rubber plantation, the Sonara. The Southwesterners, they understand that the vast majority of these natural resources, they be in their land. But the highest population density, it come out now from the Northwest region. Because of this dynamic, they understand that in any political fight, the Southwest man will lose. And now them get the highest amount of natural resources on their land. Based on this dynamic, now one of the heaviest calculation where the Southwesterners, they don't decide, say, lie to lie, they no go ever get any political union, and they don't already experience the over-domination from 1950s up to the 1970s and even the 1980s. The Northwesterners, they don't over-dominate the Southwesterners then. So on the 9th of March 2023, Oka Nasiri Clovis, the ex-combatant from DDR Center for Boya, he will do a live presentation where he explain and articulate this point in a very simple and clear terms. Una listen.
The Southwest people no fit ever and ever go to two-state federation. Matramona know very well. The Southwestern no fit ever and ever go for any union with the Northwestern. I speak the truth. The chiefs, they write a letter, send a right from the presidency. First of all, the name Ambazonian come from Bame, from Northwest. That's just the truth. Now, you will see the whole dynamic and situation where we did. And today, I tell the truth. You go first of all, and truth. Listen, if the Amber boys is for Southwest today, the day 1,000, I tell the truth, 995 na Northwestern and the for Southwest Bush carry gun. No be Southwestern. The Southwest zone, it is being terrorized by the Northwesterners, not even the Southwesterners. It is the truth and the reality. I don't be tell the truth, go vex with the truth.
By your own.
During the 1st October, Ambazonian celebrate independence. And today they give a warning for all Ambazonians. No school is Ambazonian. No school for study Cameroon. Any student, any teacher, any who will catch them as any office for La Republic is Ambazonian. For study Cameroon land. Any man will take 5 francs. You say we fight and fight, I take 25 for any man. I'll kill him personally. As I catch you, kill you. Bam. So no school no open, and it start from Tiko, Boya, and Limbe. I do the insights. No finish for Muyoka, Ekona, Munya. So the standard from Boya, Tiko, Limbe. Any student want to try, any principal or any teacher, he go see him. Only cash you take money. But yes, some man cash, some teacher, he take 25 and he kill you. As I cash you kill you. Any work of the Republic inside Southern Cameroon land, as I don't deserve to kill we. As they cash you, they kill you.
Me, if you see me today, that because of Northwest man, I like Northwest people to the highest level. That is me. A majority of my friends, they are Northwestern. It's a fact and a reality. The Southwest is being terrorized by the Northwesterners. And if you look at the amount of atrocity where it don't happen today for the Anglophone zone, it don't be committed plenty now for Southwest. And if you look, the house of Hazron burn them down for this so-called crisis for Northwest and Southwest. Southwest don't face the highest difficulties for putting raising down of houses more than the Northwest. How many people don't understand Northwest and Southwest check out? Because what the picking the get sense. Do not fit do what they do for Southwest for their village. You know if it be possible. I'll bring instance them for this thing, tribalism, now one of the highest problem among the anglophones. There was an anglophone no fit ever come to one accord because of tribalism. One of the highest thing where Canada gone for that bush you need for know today. Now say you no fit ever divide Cameroon. Put down for your head to make you know. The Southwest people no day for doing nonsense. They can tell you more no fine. Openly. Man tell them more know very well. You know why we see most of our chiefs them. They no fit can tell them openly because they are politicians. They look of their own political interest. When I talk, the man no support my party. They see me and they be politician. I don't care if you like me or you hate me. Now for your concern, but I go stand at the truth where they. I not be tribalistic, but I tell you the truth where it is. Some people not there for that thing. I not go argue now. I tell you say inside Boya, Fako, the highest terror when the half of Fako, not be Southwest picking them. How many backward picking they say Amber? How many backward picking them when I backward picking them when they get Boya Fako they inside Amazonia? All them na Momo Batibo picking them. All them. Saga na u na Batibo. Skybi na u na Batibo. G unit na u na Batibo. People order na u na Batibo. G unit na u na Batibo. I want to which one I only which one for them. All the Northwest for Momo. That then they flop for bush. Ebube, Sagat, na Northwesternant. All them so fit. If una, I repeat it, if you go to Boya, all Sagat picking them, you know if you move two back when they picking them inside, you know they. All na Northwesternant. If the Sagat get 100 boys, 95, 98, 98, 99, all na Northwesternant. You think guess what's in Aberdeen only two. And that two, no one, no be even fourth in command. No be even na just normal, it be even for wash pan no day. It for the last level where it be no man. That's the truth. You go for Meme. Highest brigade terrorize Meme na Northwesternant. It's just a fact and a reality. I argue and I tell the truth. They really Southwest speaking themselves, no not there again for Bush that way. No not there. How many of them are there for Bush? How many of them are there for Bush? I get full analysis. I tell you out of experience. I want to tell you. The Southwest zone, it is being terrorized by the Northwestern and them. Inside Munyenge today, you see Munyenge today get ambashed Trump because of it. Munyenge population is being made up of Northwestern and Eshimbi them. Now them, they get Munyenge. You know if you move Munyenge picking them up to how many inside Munyenge? No, if you get voice. The whole forest, now the Western they carry all business. So you know if you talk anything, because of it, majority of them, they like Amazonia. No, not care if they own Munyenge Chakara, because after all, it is very tendency, very normal. Munyenge not be in a village. It come maybe na Fongoke Tunja. You don't care if the whole Munyenge destroy. You don't care. You want to look at the big house of village. Spirit will be the big house of Batibo. Spirit will be there for bush, for Momo, for a village, for some village, for inside Momo. It be the big house of a village. If I'm in there fine for there, no man may be knowing as Amber for a village. You know what will happen today for Southwest Zone? Majority of Amber boys and today for Southwest and Western, they go back for their village, go live normal life. I get them plenty when I know them. Le Black for Toronto, I find a picture to now. Black there for a village, no big house. Good, comfortable house. Because Black with the Amber for inside Ngongo village. If we there, commander under Toronto. Mr. Toronto na next in command for after Ikeku. Toronto na assistant free marshal for the ribbons. When Mr. Black na under here as a first commander. But today, Black carry more than how many millions wrong go Bamenda. Before one go the BS of village. It be comfortable as for a village. After all, for a village, no man know the amber boy. They know it's for Southwest, you hustle in life. You don't ever know the amber boy. It don't be comfortable as for a village. After don't terrorize the mammy there for Southwest, make money for Southwest, be has for a village. Take more than 20-something million, run with them, go Ibamenda. When they call you, no, you don't go just other group for Bamenda. You know, joining no group. If they happily they live a good life for Bamenda, the normal citizen. Then how do you expect to clean that Bamenda? How do you expect to clean that Bamenda? That is a situation where it happened today for the anglophone zone. Majority Bamenda picking them, they join Amber for Southwest. After they don't terrorize that area, they don't make their money, they run, go back for Bamenda, go live normal life as normal citizens. If I did lie, I got this. I talk out of experience and the reality. And it got in an instance. Now just 1 in a million that. Now they map that way there. I remember where black General Prosper, they watch me now. I did watch me prosper. Daddy Njikem prosper. Black. When I begin from Cambe. Cambe no get amber. One amber coming from Cambe. They leave Cambe. They born for year. He can enter 5 friends. If papa they already in Cambe, they don't go back to village. They live happily for village. If the remain for down here, enter amber for year. To rise about me there for Baba Musori making money, they go build the house for village. You know what finish the house? Now maybe moving opposition. You know finish build the house. He make a statement for me, say, where Mopa tell my tell Mopa don't die, say, Mopa, you be Northwesternant, you may be Southwesternant. Work as a Northwestern, not be Southwesternant. My job for my brothers and sisters. I say, eh? He say yes. I clap so. I say, I will show you. Say me. I be Balondo picking Sam pro Sam. And I be Southwesternant. I don't for that nonsense. When he be enter as general, he move all Southwest picking to pip like commander. He put only Northwest, because after he be there, the second in command, be then a shame Marcel Sanclair when I'm picking from Cambe. That's what they be there. Brother. Then all picking them. He put the next in command for inside the village. After Elwani, some small village for Tikome, Nakambe Pikiwe put them. The only boss for the whole Bamuso subdivision. He be then Allen. Because Ikeku, I put it personally for that place, be fit for changing. All now picking them. We don't see kind thing for that place. We don't tell the truth. So there is a high tendency of tribalism among the Northwesterners. So if the Southwest man ever dream for go for any union Northwest man are bloodshed, they go ground with a pepper, had a ground pepper for stone. They go ground with a granum. I said we'll tell because if we even make noise, this will make us say, oh, they come out for make noise anglophone. If you ever try that mistake now, no way they go ground with so even have a fight, no ever for fight them. We no go look the whole Kwakwa now they control Kwakwa and Northwesterners. Northwest man they fight chief for inside Bakudu my village. So they go for court, go for Mexico. No na witchcraft that. Baba Ekombe, Deka, Baba, now be chief for Baba, Chief Kinyangau. Na Momo man, be chief for Southwest. Show me any place for Northwest where Southwest man be chief. Chief Kinyangau, na Momo man. From Bongeye na chief. A whole chief, recognized chief. Crowned by Dio, recognized as a chief. For Southwest, Northwest man. Show me any place for Northwest where Southwest man, not even for a council. But we Southwest people will make council or they put all tribe for inside. But no way nothing ever be so they drive you. And no one go far, more go for the Ambazonian. Show me any camp for Northwest. One Southwest speaking when a general for inside Northwest, I swear to God, I stop activism for life. I don't ever do them again. I give you a challenge if I did lie. Quote me anywhere, prove me wrong. I give you my word. I stop activism. Show me one general for inside Northwest when a Southwest speaking. Or show me one commander for inside Northwest when a Southwest speaking. I stop activism for life. If una be claim say we for Southwest, we dey part of una, we begin a plan for press all the paper. Show me one. And resign. Show me one man. I give a 3 instance. I come for the last grade. Show me any one Southwest speaking for inside Northwest for any camp Amazonian camp where it be cook for una camp or the wash na plate. Show me one. I stop acting for life. They ask me, I will show you 1,000 for inside Southwest, when Northwest speaking, when a general's commander they control. The whole FACO as a whole, the control FACO, Sagat. Sagat now speaking now for Momo. Second in command now, Sky B, now from side, Momo. Everywhere be there na their pa, now from side, from Momo. You go for Ndian, now the control Ndian. Tenkobo, now focus the papa. Tenkobo na figure noise, na noise maker, the ring man na focus. Tenkobo the fear focus to death. If focus talk, Tenkobo should don't quiet. The only reason, pressure. The only reason why Tenkobo there for that place, now for struggle, for look and say Southwest speaking the day. And because of the Tenkobo don't take mostly that picking them for around Balwe, put them for a corner. So that maybe play global part the fees on ways they may not come after Elijah. Spirit of the now for the whole Asawana. Spirit of the now. Spirit of the now. Na momo picking. I want call which one, leave which one. Ebube Shalom money the first commander of Koko now. In a babena picking. Bamita. You want my call now which one? I call which one? I leave which one? It is just the truth and the reality. Cameroon no fit divide. He no get nothing we do President Pobia, but he get a lot to do between me and you. Tribalism plenty for the anglophone zone. The Southwest people no fit ever and ever go to two-state federation. Matramona know very well. The Southwestern no fit ever and ever go for any union with the Northwesterners. I speak the truth. The chiefs, they write a letter, send a right from the presidency. Me, I no be tribalistic. But I go tell you, say no, Cameroon no fit divide. As far as you for Northwest, you be tribalistic. You claim say me francophone man no catch up resources. The question when me I want ask every anglophone for any village where you there, I want to ask you where you watch me. If you there for Momo, you talk say me French man, me la Republic no catch up resources inside Momo. Me I want ask you for Momo, which resources when you get inside Momo, where la Republic can't take them. Show me any resources where you get for inside Momo, where la Republic can't take them. I don't get stress plenty. Show me any resources where you get from Goketunja, where la Republic can't take them. May I tell you something? The same way, before you want to talk about resources, she dumb down, look your village before you fight. So you fight now for waiting. What do you have that the government is coming to collect, to exploit? Now, Southwest man, look at we too will not go evergreen. Different man can exploit. Big general manager for PAMO, big general manager for CDC, big general manager for Sonara, because we have all those resources in Southwest. The same way you tell a Frenchman, say, may he not ever can be general manager for PAMO. Or me no can tell resources. I don't know to get them for Ketunja, for Momo, for Bui, for Awing, Santa. I don't know the kind of resources you get. As potatoes. Now resources now to potatoes, where tomato, where you get them. Now we like nobody can take them. That's because I want to ask you, wanna tell me for here. Before you talk about resources, talk about certain things there. Ask yourself a question: what is your community providing for the government? Instead, the government they give you for Momo advantage. We call that way regional balance. Me I tell you, you know very well. I will explain for you later. The resources where they come out, the money where they come out from Ndian, Fako, Meme, they look and say the resources is plenty. They take that money, look play the way you know be develop, invest inside because the regional means wait they make sure say make all place to be small because they don't get much for give them. So if you say you as you talk for Frenchman, men no can take your Irish potatoes. Listen, as you talk for Frenchman, men no can take your Irish potatoes for Banso, for Momo, for Ketunja, Santa, Awi. That Irish potatoes, where it doesn't make Frenchman no can take them. We are community because nothing like get another to get and make a part of that one. Me too, for Southwest, I get CDC, I get Pamo, I get Sonara. For my village, I get crude oil. The largest CDC oil mill for West Africa is then of my subdivision, Bamoso. My village get the biggest landmass given by the CDC for their plantation. I get 6,000 hectares planted palm for my village by CDC. So I don't go evergreen. You too, you come up for that side for Northwest, can be general manager for CDC. I want me Southwest man be general manager for CDC. I want me Southwest man be general manager for Pamol. For Ndian are one of the richest subdivisions of the whole Cameroon. But no be develop, no be get road. Now they want make one road. But look from Bamenda to Momo, you don't tear them all again waiting. What do people have? Now they make noise. Now carry amber for head, now they make noise. Now get waiting. Whether they make no glad, whether they want to tie a road. Meanwhile, get the all resources and now they want to tie a road. And now still in the west side, they didn't not tie a road. They come out gun every day, they make noise for road. They say the first stand up. Now when I disturb, that lie, but they won't tie on a road for the village. We're so fool. How many chief, if we not claim, say this ambassador will the fighter, one of the fighter for anglophone zones, so independent. If we not claim for Northwest, you know, we will be part of una show me any chief that ever cut his head for inside in any fund we don't ever compromise for inside Bamenda, for inside Northwest. But I will show you the hundred of chief. Chief I saw it was a chief of paramount chief among the watch of Balondo client. But when I kill the chicken for inside church. But when I catch the fund of Uso, when I give Henneken, when I ask the Papa, what do you stand for? It's a stand for one and indivisible Cameroon. We're not doing nothing but when I catch our own chip. See, we are not fools. We are not fools. We the see, we the hear, we the understand. One of the highest level bush today is tribalism. That is why I tell every youth say no, more forget about this Ambazonian, more focus on the development, more take each person, no matter play where you come out, will love you. Countryman is showing an example. I don't come out from Momo. I'm very far from Ndian. If you look at distance, for come out from the go right from Momo, where you come out very far. But today, I be countryman junior. That shows already. It's a man when look at the tribalism no matters. You are Cameroonians, all of us matters. Me, I not be tribalistic. I don't make I say any person there for any place. What are you there now for far north? For what kind of side where you there for central? As you be Cameroonian, if you be able, you be capable, where if you manage CDC. When I be Frenchman, you don't have whose side where you come out. When I be who's kind of tribe man, as you be capable to manage CDC, I don't get problem, may they appoint you. If you be capable, when I be Francophone, I be whosoever you come out, be Northwesternant, as you be able to manage Pamo or Sonara, may they give you. But me, I don't want Amazonian terrorism. Because we talk about, say, me man can manage your resources. We too for Southwest, we not go green. Me no way we can manage our resources then too. We too go, we not go school. We go school, if you manage, if you write, if you read, we go manage and anyone manage, go get them. So I make you you know that one very well put on for your brain. Say independent no day because of tribalism. It go hurt many people, but not the truth at the talker. The Southwest people no want Ambazonian. So I call upon all the Southwest people then. What are they today for ground? I not talk say, may you hate Northwest man. No, they your brother. It's your sister. Love him, love her, take care of her, help her when need arise. Give you small job, give you house, may stay for day for free of charge. But more go after all those terrorists them when they carry gun for our community. Or they give them aid and comfort, they support them, they do things them. If I be you, where at the year province voice now, you there for this thing. You there for Munyenge, you there for site where be Southwest tenant. You don't need to don't net yourself. You cooperate with me, we'll clean the whole amber. You get peace. No fishing around nowhere, picking will drop your gun because you get nothing. Where tire, you'll go back, but men that go live in normal life. Where be the money finish for that side, he pay transport again, he come back again for that zone, carry to horizon now. That is the game of the day. You don't hear now, that the game that for the day. When he don't tire, he come out go by men that go live normal life. Because they were life one strong some way. It, after all, he never surrender. He still get linked with that one in the forest. He come up by men that fap, he can't Southwest. Can't enter back, enter general for fulfill. Do he act the one hotel where he can stay with francophone zone after he finish go back. So how do you want to end this thing? We need to be serious. We get all about them for that whole surrender. We need to go after all them. If you not go after all them, pity. Because after you finish for that side tire, what's I gone there? You know a barrier. You look at your government. They don't surrender her. Check sense myself. So I thank you very much. Goodbye. I just can't talk to you this some other day and some other time. So God bless you now. Goodbye. We'll talk some other day and some other time. I just can't bring at this instance where it be the truth, nothing but the truth.
So my country people them, when una be here Okana Seri Clovis tell una say the Southwest is being terrorized by Northwesterners, how did that make you feel? I bet it will make you uncomfortable. You where you come up from the Northwest especially. Even me, Momo Pikin, and me, I've been a Okana Seri Clovis mentor. I've been a coach. Now me, I make amuna know Okana Seri Clovis. But this is exactly the reason why this platform be created. For we forget this kind of discussions and conversations the way they consider them saying a taboo subject, where many people them, especially anglophones, they don't want to talk about them. So Clovis, it be talk him, it give una an example. Say they will get situations then for bush where they catch person and they talk say we go release you because say you been our brother, you be Bamenda man. When I be think say Clovis the joke, no. Guess what? I come with receipts. When I listen.
Talk fine, talk fine.
Talk fine.
Talk now.
Okay, I am Kati Alfred.
Loud!
And I'm the delegate of public contracts for the Southeast. This morning I got in touch with the Amber soldiers. And we have moved through the bushes, and I've seen the struggle. And it is a serious struggle.
What do you have to tell Chiguma?
You talk now. For all the other people, them way they want me to struggle, no go forward. Say, any man get his own day. Yeah. Talk with Ekema Smith, make him know. Talk say for that one day they say they be waiting. The one they say I be Ngole, they be waiting them. Story them.
Yes, I'm Hiloxoff, one of the Amber soldiers. Actually, I'm in Boya, and this is one of the delegates here of which we have just is in our meet. Actually, we have been taking this morning. And finally, Ekemepachi, wheresoever you are, be careful, young man. You are going to remain wherever you are with the La Republic. But whenever you set your feet in this land, the Amber land, I'll make you to know, no, I'm actually the Hiloxoff, you know. And don't forget about Ndumbe, the commissioner of Mutengene police station. Ndumbe, I'll look for you. See the last drop of my blood. And this man here, I have nothing to say with him. I'm going to end his life. Because
yes. Talk.
Yes.
I said, no. My travel talk to Antimuna here. Una city man too. Now the city man. I've got fearing man this. God so kind. Our countryman. As I tell una so. Our countryman, Abamenda man. I'll not kill you, but I want set example for the others BB people who don't want me to struggle end. I be commander 10-10.
10-10.
For my 16 for Boya. With the worker find me all corner. They know they get me the use man our bay. Me they move all the whole army camp. Every puppy they know so they get can weapon. They me they enter for bush. Can't fight we for bush them. Me they go man to enter for bush. Me they go Moyoka enter for bush. inside Boya, we did about 1,000 of us.
So before I explain for una what really happened for that video, the victim he named that Mr. Cathy Alfred, he being the regional delegate for Southwest region for public contracts. He still be today as I speak, the 24th of December 2024. They be kidnapping around 2018, 2019. The Amazonian terrorist where he make that noise, he call himself Commander 1010. As he says, don't tell una, he say he be Bamenda Pekin. He say that man na my countryman na Bamenda. But he operate na full side inside Boya. You understand? It operate na inside Southwest. It just vindicate and it corroborate exactly what way Oka Nasri Clovis come out for Tockham. Say the Southwest region is being terrorized by picking away they come out from the Northwest. And it tell una, the previous person talks say he go kill that delegate. Now this guy he jump in, he intervene, interrupt the video, talk say no, this man will go set it free because say na my countryman, na Bamenda man. So these things them, we don't make them up. When I don't see the video for ourselves. By the way, the good news what I want to tell when I say the victim, Mr. Cathy, was released, and the perpetrator, the terrorist, so-called Commander 1010, was compromised for this 2024 for April. With display your dead body for Moya. That is a fact, and that is the fantastic good news about the whole thing. And I talk as one of the victims then. I know exactly what way these kidnapped victims they go through. The torment, the torture, psychological and physical. I believe the psychological torture is probably even worse than the physical torture. Luckily for me, I no go bush. They don't take me go for bush, but they come from my house with guns. So I understand the kind of things and way person like Mr. Alfred it go through when at the Southwest Regional Delegate for public contracts. And I know said they be released it because it will be present for last year 2023 at the inauguration of the delegation for public contracts, the building where they construct them for Boya. Now you name that when I see for the plaque last year for 2023. Now you inaugurate that building. So they release it after the kidnapping, but Nabamenda man as I don't hear them, it they work inside Boya. But when they kidnap the Indian delegates, them 6 divisional delegates, not the regional delegate, because this Mr. Cathy Alfred, now the regional delegate, not only he be the boss for the whole of the Southwest region, but these 6 Indian delegates them, now just the delegates them for small Indian division, now divisional delegates, not the regional delegates, they kidnap them 6, they kill 1 on the spot, and the other 5 they take and go bush, they kill them all, bury them inside one hole. That is exactly what happened, what Amazonian terrorists they do. And these things them, Southwesterners are not stupid. They see these things them, they digest them, they understand the truth and the reality of what way it go on. Imagine, put yourself in the shoes of the Bakosi, the Balondo, the Bayangi, the Bafo, the Bakweri. As a Bangwa people, they may consider themselves Nagra people like me. So imagine, say, you be Southwesterner. One of these tribes are come off a name and so. Imagine, you hear, wait where this guy come off for talk for that video. Say, this one na my countryman, na Bamenda man, so we will let it go. But whenever they catch the Southwest chiefs, they kill them. Whenever they catch the Southwest delegates, they kill them. And they can't talk them boldly on video. This so-called Commander 1010, it no be rehearse him. No be na some man tell him make it talk wait come on for talk him. Now because it be innate, it be natural for ye. For consider Bamenda man ye person or Northwesterner ye person, and he get to treat he differently. Whereas he sees Southwesterner as a different as the other, and he go treat he differently as well. He go treat Southwesterner differently. Imagine, say if na Mayor Ekema Patrick, they be hold him in that situation. Let us be honest. You believe, say, therefore let it go. Let us be honest. Search your conscience.
The man who surrendered in Indian was number 2 to General Tenkobo. In his revelation, he says that they received orders from abroad to execute the delegates. This is not normal. How many times will Southwesterners cry? Their farmlands have all been taken. Their bushes, in fact, their villages have been invaded and taken and the natives driven away. We want to talk, they call it hate speech. What do you call hate speech? If you want to talk about hate speech, look at the causes of the hate speech. The people of Southwest are hospitable people who are very accommodating, who long to share what they have with others. If they are telling and crying out their pain, no one should call it hate speech. This is too much. We can't bear it any longer.
So that one, once again, now Senator Mbelamuki Charles, it be the talk at the funeral of the Indian delegates them for 2023. After they killed the Indian delegates them, it takes several years before one of the ex-combatants is surrender and then it lead the military to the location where they be buried the Indian delegates them years before. They exhume them and then they give them a befitting burial. Of course, in that kind of situation, tempers flared up. And it was very heated, very emotional. So Senator Mbelamuki Charles, he explode. It talks on things in a way, generally, the majority of Anglophones them, they don't want to talk about them, they want to hide them. And like I talk, we know they pray, say make any Amber terrorist kidnap victim it be murdered. No, that is not our prayer. As I talk, I've been a victim of the same similar circumstances. So I understand which way the people that go through, the victims, the way ambassador terrorists that kidnap them. We know the pray say make any victim it be murdered. No. We just talk say the facts where it be in front of we now say many of these picking them where they carry guns today now Clovis age made them. They be under the age of 30 at the time where they carry those guns them. These picking them, their grandpapa them now the population that way it be migrate from the northwest region, go into the southwest region or the coast, as we call them, go to the coastal areas them for go seek greener pastures, for get employment in the CDC plantations them and all of those factories them. And of course, because the capital of the former British Southern Cameroon be then for Boya, so now for their way development, politics and all of those things that will happen. So naturally, it will draw in manpower, workforce and other populations them from the hinterlands all over the Southern Cameroons. I want to extend my congratulations if you don't listen to this presentation up to this level. My appeal for you now for share this message. Also understand say the main reason why we record this presentation now for posterity, for the future generations in about 40 to 50 years time, so that the events, the things the way they happen in our lifetime between 2014 and 2024, they could be told exactly as it were by the people the way they will be witnesses to the events them, so that the future generations they will get a better understanding of what way it transpired in our time, so that they don't go fall for the same tricks, lies and manipulation, so that they don't go enter into another self-destruction project in the future.
But this is the reality. People listen to the devil himself, my country people of La Republique, more than they listen to some Amazonian activists. This is the reality.
For July 2022, Reverend Apostle Ambe Valentine Ngwa will be live on My Media Prime with Com Leonard, and I wait to this way we talk. Wanna listen?
The Anglophone crisis is all the nation against the Northwest. As a matter of fact, it should be tagged a Northwest crisis. It's not Anglophone crisis. It's Northwest crisis. And this should sink deep. And until we accept these realities, we're going to be beating the air. The reason why they have forcefully put a Bakwere man at the forefront of the crisis is to drag the Southwesterners into this thing. They are not part of it. The earlier we know that the Anglophone crisis is the 9 regions of this country against one region called the Northwest region, the better. As the days are going by, subsequently we will change the name from the Anglophone crisis to the Northwest crisis.
So when Apostle Ambe will make this presentation, this declaration on media publicly, a lot of people then they be talk say why he can't talk him. The reason is because this is a well-known secret. It means not be secret at all. We all know, all we Anglophones them understand. Say this nonsense about Amazonia, not just another way where the Northwest people them, they want for over-dominate the Southwest people them. And because we, the Northwest people them, now we get the larger population, now we always intimidate, bully and oppress the Southwesterners them. So we don't want to talk this secret. So when some person, a come can't talk them out, it be jarring for people then to say, wow, it can't talk them. It be similar to when with the Southwest population they cry about the over-domination and marginalization from the Northwesterners them, the usual tendency, now say people they go talk say no, she don't quiet, no talk am. But we all know, say now the truth that this thing about division, about Ambazonia, na a Northwest person ye pipe dream because it is na the resources the way they inside Southwest. And even though people did usually try or avoid for discuss these things them publicly, every now and again they let it out, it slip out. When I listen to Christopher Anu.
You in the northern zone, you don't own anything. But you in the southern zone, if you are not careful, the northern zone with their population, they dominate you. Even if you get this country called Ambazonia, remember, don't forget, the population of the northerners will overweigh you in the southern zone.
Chris Anu being one of the so-called presidents them, of one of the so-called internet governments them. And before he be quit from Sako Ekome, his own internet government, for go create their own with Marianta, he be being a so-called spokesperson or the communications guy or the minister of communication for the comedy Facebook country called the internet government under Sako Ekome. Even the so-called Ambazonians, they know this fact for themselves. Now make we examine this thing. These are just facts where it is in front of you. They get 4 so-called IGs, internet governments them, as they call them. Of all the 4 so-called IGs them, for this so-called Ambazonian nonsense, all of them, they come on from the Southwest region. Okay? When I look on the screen, the so-called IG1, where it come out from the Skaku, from the so-called conclaves, the way we go hold on for Nigeria, it be been Ayuk Tabe. Ayuk Tabe, it come out from the Southwest from Manu Division. After that, they get the way they call and say the acting interim president, where it stand in for Ayuk Tabe, time where they be catch Ayuk Tabe, they go lock them for Kondengi. Now for the way Sako Ekome, they prop it up, they can put them up as a figurehead for this nonsense called Ambazonia. Sako Ekome come on from Fako. After that, they break apart again for go form another IG. This time around, they put na Marianta, where it come out from Ndian. After that, Christopher Anu, he break away from your own IG for go form your own IG. Christopher Anu come on from Lebialem. Listen, my country people, them, we are not stupid. And I hope say, you too, you know, be stupid. I don't already proven for una, demographically, scientifically, historically, with document and evidence. The Northwest population, a plenty past the Southwest population by far. By law of just natural selection, out of the 4 so-called IGs them, at least, even the worst probability, the worst chance in the lottery, at least one of them if for emerge where it come out from the Northwest region. You know why there hasn't been one? At one time, this so-called Marianta IG, there be one for Putna, a person will come out from Northwest, from Bali, Emmanuel Tita. But the outcry from the Southwest population, na ye it be make them, they remove it very fast. Because the agreement it exists way back in the 90s, say the only condition where the Southwest indigenous population go follow Northwest in any agreement for any political union, now if the Southwest people them, they would take the lead.
Federation on condition that Southwest and Northwest are not together.
Because of these real experiences where the Southwest indigenous population, they don't experience the over-domination of the Northwest even in their own land. They over fear. Say if they go into any political union with the Northwesterners them, they could be pushed aside, over-dominated and marginalized, even though the resources are in their land. So the precondition for any Southwest people then for follow this nonsense, na say, na them go lead. That was a pact where they beget them way back in the early 90s, before the All Anglophone General Conference with the SCNC and all of those things them, they beget a pact where the Northwesterners them, they will look at the historical context where me I don't really plan for now, and knowing and understanding say that the Northwest population they fight for divide country. Now the Northwest people them they talk this thing about Ambazonia, separation, marginalization, all of these things them. Now Northwesterners them, and the only way where they fit ever achieve that one now if the Southwest population join them. So it was a compromise for them for accept say make the Southwest people them they go must lead in order for drag them into this thing for make them feel like say they belong. the Southwest population do not belong to this nonsense Ambazonia. So for make the point abundantly clear, make una listen to the so-called Ambazonians and sisters, they go explain for una. This one a live broadcast will be happen for March 2021, where Dr. Gabila from South Africa, he be talk with Ndong Emmanuel, Capo Daniel, and Asu Lucas, and they explain for una. Say they be make political decision, say the leader for this so-called Ambazonia or IG government or whatever must be from the southern zone. They mean the southwest region. So, when I listen.
Because, Comrade Asu, when of course, you know what happened, right? We went into a two-stage process of designation of leadership, and then politics took over, and then the democratic vote pointed to one candidate that people felt was going to be a nightmare, and they figured that Dr. Common Sense was going to be the better option. So they massaged the process and then gave us a monster.
So in other words, they made an election and Sako lost the election, but the cabinet that was full of XXX decided to manipulate the system and declared Sako the winner, even though he lost the election. Sako lost the election. Then maybe the first vote they conducted, which I have the minutes of that meeting, the country heads were called upon to vote for who to choose between Sako and Chris Anu. They went into a vote. The numerical victor was Chris Anu, and the cabinet.
Yes, you're right.
Decided to say that Chris
Anu. Yes, you're right. You played with my brain. See, you played with my brain when Sako lost the election. I was going to say Chris Anu won the first. Yeah, no, you're right. You used you asked the question in a reverse, and then you played on my brain. No, so let me explain what I want to answer the question, right?
Go ahead.
Yes, you're answering the question.
Right. No, I'm answering the question. So, of course, for the sake of clarity, and because we are speaking truth to our people, okay, the first electoral college that came in, that was constituted of country, as I said, had before you come down to the choice of the two. Before the electoral college was convened, there was a political decision that was taken, which is already anti-democratic in itself. A political decision was taken that this leadership should be handed to someone from the southern zone to establish a balance between the northern and the southern zone. So the process from its onset, from the thinking, which comes from a good place, but it was not democratic in any sense. And of course, like you say, when they went to the first round of elections, Chris Anu emerged as the person who was supposed to be the leader. And a few of the cabinet members figured that he was not going to be the most suitable person. They reconvened the second set of votes, expanded electoral college, and then Grand Jakatu emerged as the leader of the IG.
There is
so that's what happened.
The person who led the change of the rejection of the choice of the victor of that election was the person which we know is the brother of Fayengo Francis, who goes by the name Yengo, whatever name he calls himself there. He's embedded in the IG. We think that guy have been manipulating the system.
But also Dr. G. Also, Dr. G. Just to be fair,
in which you may be making the argument. Yes,
Dr. D, just to be fair,
the argument that
if the argument was that they wanted someone from the southern zone, right? If they wanted someone from the southern zone, Chris Anu won the election and they wanted someone from the southern zone. Is Chris Anu not from the southern zone? He's from the BLM.
No, Chris Anu. So Chris Anu, and so the whole question of wanting somebody from the southern zone informed who were the candidates that emerged in the elections. Let's not forget that Barrister Harmony Bobga was leading that 3-man transition team at the time. Let's not forget that you had people like Atam Milan, you had a whole host of people who had leadership credentials. But there was a political decision that had been taken that the leader and the face of the revolution
decision was taken by who?
The person that led I have the transit.
Yes, the political decision was taken by who?
Manipulation is somebody.
The political decision was taken.
We believe the Moor was involved in the process of getting Sako on the board of SCAPAC before the whole thing came out. We had discussed and gave this warning to Seseko and many people of the IG that the brother of Fayengo Francis was embedded in the IG, and he was the main person engaging in political backdoor deals to get Sako as the leader of the IG. And he succeeded in a process where he could not succeed because they had agreed that they want somebody from the southern zone. They chose two candidates. They voted the person that he did not want, and he manipulated his way and have Sako at the helm. Before people could realize what was going on, and calling Sako as a mole that was embedded in the revolution, it was basically too late. He is now carrying the crown of the IG, and it is very difficult for Siseko to take back that crown from him, even though he's an impostor.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm one of those who have, for the last 3-4 years, held onto the theory or the postulation that Sako is a mole. Okay.
So the first thing we will need to understand, when Dr. Gabila talk about Dr. Common Sense, it refer now to Sako Ikome. Because now what that way they do for Facebook, maybe call itself say Dr. Common Sense, maybe they do some Facebook activism before the onset of this Ambazonian nonsense. So now who that they refer to as Dr. Common Sense and the monster. They also talk about the political calculation where they be make them, the political decision where they be decide, say the leader it must come from the southwest region. And now why that way? Even though as now here Dr. Gabila talk say the leaders them for this thing, when we be just start at the onset, you will get Harmony Bobga, you will get Milan Atam, but because these two individuals and both of them come out from the northwest region of Cameroon, and they don't get a pact since the 1990s, say the only way where they go fit succeed with this secessionism or this two-state federation agenda, now if the Southwesterners they be at the helm where they lead them, because the Southwesterners they don't make them point blank say we are not interested in this thing, because when we experienced two-state federation in the past, the Northwesterners they be over-dominate we, they sideline we, and we be get no voice. So we are not going into anything with the Northwesterners. So they compromise where they become with, now say the Northwesterners them they be agree for stand back, prop up Southwesterners them, put them at the forefront, such as a stooge or a prop where they could then remote control or manipulate the Southwesterner figurehead like a puppet. Then they could then use it as the figurehead with an agenda where it come out directly from the northwest. So that is the political calculation where Dr. Gabila they talk about. So you hear Asu Lucas talk say the political calculation or political decision was made by who? It was made by who? Dr. Gabila no fit talk. Now because this pact goes back to the 1990s with the with the SCNC and the All Anglophone General Conference 1 and General Conference 2. Now why that way? Even though the leaders them at the onset of this lawyers and teachers strike, it be been a Northwesterners them, you get the Fongala for them, Harmony Bobga, Milan Atam them, where Dr. Gabila don't mention them. But when they go for that conclave for Nigeria, the political decision was made. Say this thing must be led by a Southwesterner in order for drag the Southwesterners into this thing, for make them believe say this thing it get their consent, or say the Southwesterners them they support them. They don't. It is a Northwesterners dream. This secessionism agenda, Ambazonia nonsense, and two-state federation is all about the Northwesterners them. The Southwesterners are not stupid, and I go explain more. So now Dr. Gabila talk against it. So they get Sako, Eden and Mole, and Chris Anu. Now the two Southwesterners, and that way they be choose some. Then they get election where they then massage the election for make the right candidate where they be want them. Because even at that time, for 2016-17, for Zaria, for the so-called conclave for Nigeria, the BCM said they need a Southwesterner puppet where they go fit put them at the forefront of this thing, where they go fit control them, where the Northwesterners them they go control them. Now why do when I hear Ndong Emmanuel Capo then they don't tell when I say Richard Tangu, it no be know his name, but now the name that now I picture that Richard Tangu, where it come out from the Northwest Oku, now them they actually control the IG. Now them register the IG, the so-called Ambassador Foundation. And then you get people that like Irene Gua, when a woman will come out from Batibo for Momo, now them they control Sako Ekome. And now because of this control, where they control Sako Ekome, where it even lead to Chris Anu, Marianta, them for break away from the so-called IG, go form their own IG. Now why that we will get multiple IGs them today? So my country people them, Ebenezer Akwanga be live on the 3rd of November 2024, just about 6 weeks ago from the time we had to record this presentation. And Ebenezer Akwanga be talk about this particular situation, the creation of the so-called interim government, and how Sako Ekome become the head of the so-called interim government, and the undemocratic decision where they be taken for make sure say make the leader of the so-called interim government make him must come from the southwest region of Cameroon. Ebenezer Akwanga talk about him. When I listen.
Within a twinkle of an eye, you thought we were creating government, you rushed and created a government, and then you told us that it's democracy. Where are we today? You did not end up there. You brought up this stupid mentality of Northwest, Southwest. Oh no, since it was a Southwest brother from the Southwest who was made president, let's get another one to put. They said, oh no, let's put Comrade Chris Ano. Some of you said, no. Their democracy never worked. You voted Chris Ano. The same democracy you were fighting for. You cancelled that democracy. You said, oh, Chris talks a lot, we cannot put him. Where does democracy works like that? You say it's democracy. So you remove Chris and you bring Dr. Common Sense. And when you put Sako, who was there innocently doing his thing online, you drag him and say, come and sit here. There is a pot of food here that we have cooked for you. The vast majority of you are non-starters. Having interest to liberate our people doesn't mean you know how to do it. And now you were hoodwinked 419. You were all going round and round and round. Individuals capture Sako, like what they do in South Africa, where they call it state captured. They captured him. Because when you people keep blaming that, oh, Sako did this, he messed up the struggle. No. If Sako made a mistake, it was a vast majority of people around Sako who did that. It wasn't Sako. He was all surrounded with all these guys, most of you from Mogamolan. You were pulling him to the left, pulling him to the right. When Sako will go and take the card, whether it's bank card or credit card for Southern Cameroon, and was scratching it to buy food and drinks, were you people not eating and drinking? Were you complaining then? And now you decided that you will crucify him as if he wrote an application that you should put him there. That is why I told you, democracy does not work in a liberation struggle. It has never worked anywhere. It has never worked. If you try it, it will fail. You have seen it. You've seen the failure of it.
Ebenezer Akwanga also go on for mention about the credit card, how where they will control Sako Ekome, they will toss it to the left, they will toss it to the right, and they will use the credit card then for buy chop, wine and drinks. And exactly what that way Eric Tato go mention in the next part of this presentation. Eric Tato will talk for about crabs, eating crabs, because it talk about how the Irengwa, they will use the credit cards and where they will donate money for my trip to Boya with Sako Ekome them. They will go for Red Lobster, go chop crabs. They will do extensive live presentations about that crab eating people them. So now what that way they talk about, so forgive me a background story. And as now here, Ebenezer Akwanga also called Sako Ekome say Dr. Common Sense, because now the name that way they use them in the past. And even within themselves in that so-called election, now Chris Anobi win. But they massage the situation, make na Sako Ekome win, because they be say and say Sako Ekome na person where they go fit manipulate them. All of these people them they come up from the southwest region. It is by design. It is not by coincidence. So you see and say even the people the way that they vex when we talk about this northwest and southwest divide, when we talk say this thing na a northwest crisis, even those people the way that they vex, the so-called Amazonians, they recognize the existence of this tension of this northwest versus the southwest dichotomy, way it make them impossible for them to move ahead without the southwesterners them being at the leadership of this nonsense. Because if they only put the northwesterners them at the leadership, the southwesterners they go openly, glaringly see and say this, so this nonsense is no concern we, and they go pull back their support, and the whole thing it will crumble. So now why that way they will make that political decision, say make the Southwesterner a must lead this nonsense for secessionism inside Cameroon. So the same Amazonians where they don't want to hear about the northwest versus southwest divide, now them this way they can't confess and for say when they go for that conclave for Zaria, for choose the leader for the so-called consortium for lead the secessionist agenda, they will make a political decision, a political calculation, say it must be a Southwesterner. As to look as they die, they ask you say, Who made the decision? Dr. Gabila no fit talk, he no one talk. But I don't explain it for now. I hope so it be clear. It is an unspoken truth where all man know him, but we no one for talk him. Say the Southwesterners not be interested in this thing. Now the Northwesterners, their dream. Some people they there with the opinion say some of these Southwesterners them, the Sako Ikome, the Christopher Anu and the Marianta and the Ayuktave them, they know very well say this, they know say this project of separation it not be possible, but they just go along for use them as an opportunity for make money for themselves. So it is a cash cow for them. So there is another train of thought where they talk say the Sako Ikome them, the Chris Anu them, they not be stupid, they not be naive, they not be led or misled by the Northwesterners them. They are actually the cunning ones who are misleading the Northwesterners them into a futile project where it no go ever get an attainable goal, but they just follow them in order for make money while the agitation it still go on. My country people then.
With these arguments, there is provision for special status. So let us go back now to this constitution and see how this special status can help Northwest and Southwest remain a little bit independent, but at the same time, not within the Federation. This was a compromise position that came out of the dialogue because the Southwest position was that they wanted Federation but nothing to do with the Northwest. These are clear facts of history that we lived through in the Grand National Dialogue.
So if you don't listen to this presentation all this while, I thank you so much. I hope so you don't learn one or two things then. The next segment for this presentation, Eric Tato will introduce una to who be Sako Ikome and Christopher Anu. Wanna listen?
Because Ambazonian people, they deserve truth and good leadership, not crooks and political manipulators. Thieves must go, all my hashtag. It be crucial for this revolution. Chris Anu, all man knows say Sako the thief. And I want to tell you one thing. For this revolution, we get 5 top thief people. 5 top thief people. When I see Sako Ikome now number 1 thief man. For the list, if you flip them, come down, Sako Ikome now number 5 for the list. But when I feel like number 1. Sako Ikome number 5 thief man. An arrogant thief, a criminal. That's who Sako is. From birth. Now thief man number 1. Number 2 thief man. Now Iringwa. Number 2 thief man now who? Iringwa. And number 2 thief man that for the revolution. Number 3 thief man now who? Fu Johnson. That's an armed robber par excellence. Number 3 thief man that. Number 2 thief man. Now Chris Anu. Number 1 thief man. Now still Chris Anu. Chris Anu get 2 positions in 1. That is the actor, the architect of thievery in this revolution. And I will go back for refreshing our memory. Then you get a chronic, diabolic, unsympathetic thief like Christopher Anu. They come today for can call his student, say student a thief man. Sakona Chris Anu is student for thief. And he talk today, every now and I go to support Chris Anu. Tomorrow na I will shine. When I say the heritage to a prophet. Yes, I be prophet. Christopher Anu, you don't get no place for this trouble, I'm to tell you. And I will ask you now, Muna go back right for down. I don't tell you Chris Anu don't buy house for Dubai. Support they make like say they want doubt. I be telling about Sako, my tell now, refresh your memory. I tell you, I say Sako being an actor for bitcoins. All these spam chop them when they make noise. They say a lie today. And I be specific. Say that Frank from Menchum now introduce Sako for Bitcoin. They argue today the Hong Green. I talk some money for Berlin disappear between Sako and Iringwa. The very spam chop deny, but today they can agree say if they for room, Iringwa take money put up his skin say go smuggle them. Ambazonians, when I listen. Chris Anu, because na arm robber where cash the effect where cash Chris Anu for thief, now he mob the big, now he own him in that. That's an arm robber. So we know Sako.
But Anu Christopher, I tell you one thing. They play with the whole Amazonian hostage. God use them for destroy you. Your own brother, Field Marshal. Who's I the fight? Now, when I ask Anu 3 things, I will ask this question. On my hashtag, thieves must go. Everybody, hashtag thieves must go. I go still knock my chest. Chris Anu, come on, ABC. Go form his own Facebook page. He make noise. Now, Facebook pages. Ask Chris Anu say, who's our headquarters of ABC? You never see ABC address? You don't ever see equipment where ABC get them. You don't see any program sheet or coordinators of programs. Apart from activists, where they come from time to time, can make the noise where they want to come. Today, don't come and say get A1 or AB with the TV. Is that, you know what is a TV station? Do you know what is a TV station? Now, I'll ask you the question. Why may I analyze what is a TV station? Because I want to tell you how Chris Anu tip for this struggle past all man. Number 1. The highest county where contributions don't be made within the sons and daughters of Ambazonia, within that county is Lebialem. All of Ambazonia. The highest level contribution don't come away. They don't organize fundraisers, parties upon parties. Now Lebialem. And that money go for one channel. Chris Anu, Field Marshal. One channel. Chris Anu and Field Marshal. All through Chris Anu. That's number 1. The highest county where they don't contribute money, all of Ambazonia don't contribute money geared to that county, including me and you will talk. Now still a BLM through Chris Anu and Field Marshal. The highest fake TV where person don't collect money from people, donations to the tune of over $50,000 to $70,000 every month for the past 4 years. Now ABC, where Chris Anu will collect all that money, yet Chris Anu is a mere bedroom YouTuber or Facebooker. He does not have a studio anywhere in the US. But he takes money, up to 70,000 for Ambazonian people. I cry, say how Ambazonia will give man money for Facebook page. Almost say, oh, Eritato, you want to bring the struggle down. Today, Chris Anu won't make like holy and die. And I'm robber by excellence, Christopher Anu. When I see Mike Barata, who's supposed to be in his right senses, to go promote a thief, when I talk about unity, who tells us Chris Anu will bring unity for this struggle? And I will quote myself. I will tell you today to tomorrow. It will not go any man when you follow Chris Anu at this time because Sako is done. And I want to start with Chris Anu. And I will come live every week because of this new thief man where don't emerge. If you say, you don't, for you, see, the difference between Chris Anu and Sako. Now say Chris Anu get big mouth, you know, for can't run lie. Why Sako na marry the cook come for back? So now Sako is told them usually, if you use them for cook the lies them, Chris Anu don't take them over. You're a big mouth now, you see Sako don't remain so. Like some, you know the wishback. You never see wishback where random BT for village. That's why they should also, they foul. Sako Abitona, they are done. All my hashtag, Chris Anu stop the thief free. All man, Chris Anu are the biggest thief man for the revolution. When I hear very well, now I tell me Eritato. Now me I tell you today, when I watch out. When you see Anu Christopher, if they make noise, say na Caterpillar go movie for ABC. Now Caterpillar go movie for Ya. I look at love. I say look at an illiterate, a fool who knows nothing about communication. He said na Caterpillar go movie for Ya love. Now who don't last movie? Now Irene Gwa woman, the criminal Margaret Thatcher used the high criminology, beat you out of the game. Now again you cry with the small woman don't move, you not be Caterpillar. But anyway, Irene Gwa accepted the Caterpillar because of a crap where you and Sako don't chop them. You know the crab there, so crab there. You don't see chef of crab now. They're like Caterpillar. So our crab don't change Irene Gwa to Caterpillar. You don't move you Anu. You work and you make noise. So for Anu, Christopher Anu head. For a wildest dream, if you feel say Sako is coming, go leave Irene Gwa. Irene Gwa when Sako is coming, you partner in crabs. Partner that hashtag partners in crab eaters. So if you say Iringwa, we get woman, pro crab where they chop, the money where they smuggle out from Berlin, he go leave Sako, or Sako will leave you. Can't follow you because if you say the talk of ABC. Man, that's what I told you. You were a fool from day one. Today you won't come here. You won't come make now like say you be the best man when you won't condemn Sako.
Lesson number one, my country people, Dr. Weti. Listen, whether or not you accept my country people is a force to reckon with. Me, I agree. He's an enemy that is strong. So Ambazonians will thank my country people for the wonderful job. Now, we'll go ahead.
Don't blame Sako. Don't blame Sako. Young brother, I'll bring it on. They were there.
So for this presentation, when I don't hear Eric Tato, it talk about how Christopher Anu and Sako Ekome are a thief. When I don't also hear Ebenezer Akwanga, they explain at length how Sako Ekome it come to the picture. And when I don't hear Dr. Gabila, Capo Daniel, Asu Lucas, they explain what will be happen in the so-called conclaves them, where they will now decide for choose Sako Ekome for lead the so-called IG, and all of them, they call it a monster, they call him saying a thief man, and all of those things. Now, when I go hear from Mark Barretta, I go give your own opinion about how Sako Ekome it come in the picture, and to a certain degree, all of them, they be right. When I listen.
Don't blame Sako. Don't blame Sako. Young brother, I'll bring it on. They were there. They were all there in a meeting. Where they all agreed that because President Siku was arrested, the next person who comes there, they need to build him security. They need to change him to avoid what happened with Siku to appoint to the next person. So it means that even if it was other person away from Sako, that new person would have had a house, an allowance that was done by the IG. So you cannot blame Sako alone. You have to blame Tabenyang, blame all of them in that IG who sat and said we need to change Sako's house, give him security, and maybe the right was abused. Maybe when Machido Boyak money came, the right was abused. But you can't blame Sako because at that material time when everyone was angry that they arrested our president, that called for it, and the IG agreed and said, okay, we are going to get a house, a secured house, change his house, give security, change his phone lines to make sure that they preserve their president or their acting president. So even if it was Tabenyang who came there, it would have been the same. Maybe because Sako wasn't working at that time. But we must also realize that people have different experiences. Sako was just a normal activist like me, doing his Dr. Common Sense show. Maybe he never even knew that this will come. He was struggling with his own papers, like also an Amazonian, struggling with his papers. Maybe he never had a real-time full job. So you cannot mock him because that he never had a job. On that, we have to be objective. You cannot mock him on that. He came, he took it, he was brave. Because all those in the IGD, they were afraid. They said, no, they won't take it. They were afraid. So people in Europe have different experiences, papers-wise, money-wise, house-wise. But what we're saying is that the rights were abused when my Tituboya came in and it became an issue. And the people in the IG never put in a structure, a thing in place to cut it, to stop it from happening. They sat quiet and saw it and belt him and belt him and belt him and belt him and belt him. It reached a stage where everything collapsed. So my people, that is what I'm saying. See that activists, we tried our best. So don't blame any activists. We tried our best. Ashu Kingsley was even crying and said, how do you want to divide a child? So the free leadership that was out there in the name of Don Sako had to take more responsibility. It was going to take more responsibility to protect the IG. But no, they relied on social media likes, comments, many shares. Oh, people are sharing. Oh, this one is sharing. Oh, the IG has the counties. Oh, this, that. No. You don't do that. So going forward, everybody has to come down from the high horse. Come down from the high horse and make the IG, which I now consider as a group, make it to be that IG
once again. I think you all may have learned your lessons. You have seen what has happened. You have seen what division can cause. There are two IGs, whether I like it or not. I see communicate from Chris Anu. I see it from Milton. I see it from President Yerima Damni VP. I see it from Sako. So, in reality, there are two IGs. Don't come and tell me there's only one IG or it's my own IG. No. Politicians, listen, politicians believe in perception. Perception is a bondage of lies.
Once you pressure and you have even a federation, you have power alternation deal. In that agreement, power comes to the Anglophones, then the Anglophones have the military and the international affairs. Biya is making that his mouth now because he has the military and international affairs. If we too have that, we will speak and we will bite and we can do anything. We can even ask for the independence. That is the secret. Very peaceful, very straightforward.
Should they give us federation? Or we should go there, negotiate for federation, so that if they give us federation, if they agree for federation, we can then take it, and then in another 5 years, we'll build up our army and cut off from them. I think if they agree on federation, we should take it, and then with time, we'll cut off. And so that is it. That's what is happening in La République du Cameroon. They are tapping Monsieur Ngo to become vice president of that country. Again, let your eyes be open out there. Let your eyes be open out there. What they are planning, we will very soon discover it.
We need power alternation to come to Anglophones as well. If you are a federalist, we need power alternation to come to Anglophones as well. If you are an independent, we need secession, immediate independence. If you are a federalist, we need power alternation in that federation. So that once the Anglophones have power, we could easily ask for independence without any bloodshed. Once the Anglophones have power, we have the military control, we have the international affairs control, and we can easily ask for independence without any bloodshed, without any. At this moment, if you're asking for independence, the risks are so high. Because if it was in the 1960s, when countries were not so open to diplomatic missions, when the Vienna Conventions on diplomatic practices were not open in 1961, when the Vienna Conventions on consular practices only came in 1963, if it was in that system, it could have been very dangerous for you as a citizen to even leave to another country. Right now, just to get a visa to Dubai is 15 years. They give you a 15-year visa. So do you think would somebody risk his life to fight a war in Cameroon at this stage when he knows that he can easily travel for a better life abroad or out of the country? Just raise a few hundreds of thousands and you're out of the country? Exactly. So the risks are so high. But we want independence. But we want federation, as some people will say. So how do you get about it? Look for the best possible channel. Pressure, put pressure on that wound. Don't be brute. Be very peaceful. Be very nice to everybody. Be peaceful. Just don't. We are winning this strategy with peace, not with violence. Because with violence, we will fail the very next day and we will lose our legitimacy. The word is on us because we are peaceful. It's like you are battering a woman, you are beating a woman who is not doing anything to you. Passerbys are very sympathetic with that woman and not with you. So you get it. But if the woman is so aggressive, people will hardly sympathize with you. So at the end of the day, please, I'm just begging on one thing. We should identify as Anglophones. We should not identify as Bamendas. We should not identify as Southwesterners. We should not identify as political parties. We should not identify as federalists or independents. We should not identify as anything. We should identify first as Anglophones. And only as Anglophones. Then we have the two options, federalism or independence, on the dialogue table. Full stop. Seek ye first federalism and independence, and all good things like roads, hospitals, good schools, jobs, after schools, and the rest will be added unto you. Seek ye first federalism. All right, Princess, if you know all that, then, Princess, if you know all that, then you should stop talking about federation. Look, this is one of the things bringing us apart. Unite as Anglophones and not as federation. Unite as Anglophones as not as independence. We should unite. You are watching me here because I speak in English. And unite. The power of this struggle is anglophone oneness. Is the anglophone oneness. It's not whether you stand on the federalist scale or you stand on the independent scale. Because even in a pure democracy, even in what we call direct democracy, there can never be 100% votes. People will always have their own ideology. So do you want to keep those people aside? Those people who are contributing hugely to this struggle? Not now. At minimum, everybody wants freedom. At least, even if you bring the best anglophones or the most crooked anglophones, they want freedom somehow. So at minimum, everybody wants freedom. But at maximum, they have their own preferences for freedom. So let us start from that minimum scale and move towards that change. When you arrive that stage, let me tell you for a fact, the people who want federation also want independence. This is a fact. The people who want federation want it at minimum. At maximum, they want independence. If you go to that dialogue table or whatever, and you have the independence, they'll be so happy. Because they want freedom at a minimum scale. They want freedom, at least they want freedom. No Anglophone I've met says he doesn't want freedom. All say they want freedom. But now it is the matter of choices. You cannot force people to choose, to say, I know you must get this. No. So unite, get the common hook. That is the strategy. Get the common hook. Since day one, I've been saying this. We should unite as Anglophones and not whether you stand on SDF scale or CPDM or whatever. You get it? I'm a Cameroonian. I'm not an American. I'm not a Belgian. I'm not a Chinese. I am a Cameroonian. I'm a taxpayer. I pay my taxes.
My country people then. On the 16th of March 2022, I will produce this white paper where I title am say, Two-State Federation is a stepping stone to separatism, and my recommendations to the Cameroon government. Now only 4 pages and are both in French and English. So now actually 2 pages for one of the languages. So the article is there for our website www.countrypeople.com/2S Federation. 2 as in the number 2 and then S Federation as right arm on the screen. So make a read excerpts of that white paper for now. I talk say the so-called two-state federalists are hardcore secessionists in plain sight. First of all, in the Cameroon context, federation cannot be achieved because right now there is no distinction between a secessionist and a federalist. And to make matters worse, federation does not solve secessionist issues, it exacerbates it. That is why Biafran terrorists are fighting despite having elected autonomous state governments. Ojukwu, I'm referring to Nigeria. Ojukwu was a governor of an autonomous federal state which gave him the means to start the Biafra War in 1967. They surrendered to Nigeria in 1970. Right now, Ojukwu's party, the APGA, is still ruling in Anambra State, but they are not satisfied. Yes, this is a federation and secessionism at the same time in Nigeria. Secessionists are fighting in Somalia and Ethiopia despite federation. Secessionists are fighting in South Sudan despite independence. Tribal federalism in Somalia has rendered the country ungovernable. In Cameroon, the only solution is to defeat ambassador terrorism completely and by every means necessary. We must use brute force where necessary to wipe out any instance of ambassador terrorism. After the defeat of ambassador terrorism, I predict it will take at least another 50 years before they restart, and like current Biafra terrorists, they will not succeed. Cameroon government must be prepared for the return of this madness. The best way to prepare for it is through education and sensitization. Returning to the former two-state federation is clearly a separatist time bomb. It must be avoided by any means necessary. This ambassador terrorism has been defeated, but they will never accept defeat because they are not on the ground. They would have surrendered like Biafra did, but they will never surrender because they are Facebook generals. I'll go on for talk say. On another note, we must acknowledge the Southwesterners do not want to be in a federation with Northwesterners. So you see, I'm saying I don't make this point abundantly clear since 2022, and we don't continue for hammer on this point, and we will continue for hammer on the point, continue for sensitize our people them about this.
Like they use propaganda, like on this dialogue that is currently going on. Every single mistake, error that will happen here, they will use it to change the brain of those that are still in the business. In this thing, I was one of the first person, the first set of AMBA that was trained in Nigeria and in Akwaya. That's in 2016 to 17 period. So in all those time, all of our information is on social media. So it is social media that this fight is really focused, because instruction is from social media. And I would say, if truly this government really want peace, they should focus. Last, to de-radicalize us, they should focus on social media like what My Country People is doing. I hope you know about My Country People. Yeah, because most of us have been de-radicalized by him. I would say that is the only person that really knows the strategy of this war.
The conclusion, the final chapter. So my country people them, when I don't take una time, when I listen to Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga he talk, also to Dr. John Foncha himself he talk, when I don't listen to Oka Nasri Clovis, Apostle Ambe Valentine Gwa, Professor Julius Ngo, Barrister Ashu Emmanuel, when I don't listen to Asu Lucas, Dr. Gabila for South Africa, Capo Daniel Ndong Emmanuel, Eric Tato, and of course, Reverend Archbishop Andrew Nkea himself, he explained things the way they happen in the Grand National Dialogue and how we end up with a special status instead of two-state federation as some Anglophones they be wanting. Bishop Andrew Nkea, he talk and quote exactly what way from Mukete he be talking for Grand National Dialogue. Till this day, not a single person where he be there at the Grand National Dialogue, they don't dispute anything where Archbishop Andrew Nkea he talk. From Mukete, ye Pekin, now today the paramount fund of the bar for people then for Kumba, and also a sitting senator inside Cameroon. They don't listen to the accounts where the Archbishop Andrew Nkea he talk about the papa, all the other people them, the people the way they be there at the Grand National Dialogue, from Nejon Frundi, Cardinal Tumi, alongside all the other Anglophone senators, parliamentarians them, chiefs them, and other opposition leaders them. None of them never dispute anything where Archbishop Andrew Nkea he talk about the Northwest and the Southwest divide. So we can 100% confirm Funa, and I don't explain Funa and say the Archbishop himself, that person with the bonnet for Widikum, and they don't travel all over the Anglophone zone. Any youth and any work as a missionary, they don't work all over the Northwest and the Southwest region. It be uniquely positioned. It get the experience, the education, and the exposure for understand everything where all Anglophones that go through. And I want to make this other particular point. Say this Northwest and Southwest divide, no matter thing where it start today. It done the grumble in the background for decades. And the modern day Anglophones them, like the Jomba Akuru them, and most of them now Northwesterners them, where they go can't try for life when I say these things say Northwest Southwest divide, now a manufactured something where the Cameroon government bring them for divide and rule or divide and conquer or for cause confusion amongst Anglophones them. That is a fat categorical lie, because I don't prove them for now with documented evidence saying that the British, they will divide the former British Southern Cameroons into two provinces. The Cameroons province, when at Southwest region today, and the Bamenda province, when at the Northwest province today, or Northwest region. So what will be happening, I say, that the KNDP regime, political party under John Foncha, it be abolish that division between the Cameroons and the Bamenda provinces for make way for the creation of West Cameroon as a federated state in the Federal Republic of Cameroon. So after the federated state it be expire, the era of the federation, it be expire, we go into a unitary state. The Cameroon government now, it bring back the northwest and southwest provinces for create 10 provinces inside Cameroon for administrative purposes. The only thing where Cameroon government, it don't do say they don't take a small part of that territory from the former Cameroon's province, when to the southwest province or southwest region. They take the Widikum part, attach them to Momo division under the northwest region, and then they create more divisions them. Now we get Kupema Nenguba, we get Ndonga Mantong, we get Boyo, we get Meme Fako. That the only thing that with the Cameroon government, it don't do them. And if una think say the Cameroon government, it don't divide the territory in order for rule una, why una they still maintain those names them, the Meme, Fako, Ndonga Mantong, Momo, and Bui, and all of those divisions them. Now Cameroon government introduced that one. Those divisions them, the 13 divisions of the Anglophone zone, it be created by the Cameroon government. Under the former British Southern Cameroons, there were only 6 divisions or districts. They will get 3 districts in the Bamenda province, and they will get 3 divisions in the Cameroon's province, when at the southwest region today. So these 13 divisions that we will get 7 in the northwest and 6 in the southwest, is a creation of the Cameroon state administrative apparatus for administrative purposes them of the territory. So why when our so-called Ambazonians them, if we are not like them, say they don't divide them into districts for administrative purposes them, why would they still abide to that Boyo, Menchum, Ndonga Mantong, Fako, Meme, Momo, and all of those things? Why would they call those divisions them? That is actually where to a Cameroon government after 1972 they create them. Also, many Anglophones they talk say they don't want or they don't like colonialism, but ask them why they insist for call Limbe, say Victoria. Was Victoria not the name of a British queen? So now they see how confused our people they be. People the way they talk say no, they don't like colonialism. They don't want to be colonized. They say Cameroon government don't colonize the former British Southern Cameroons. At the same time they insist. So they call Limbe by its colonial name, say Victoria. This is the quagmire. This is the political nonsense where Anglophones, they don't just be confused. And now why that way we need to get no progress politically, because we be over confused. We don't even know which way we want. And the people who don't know what they want can never be satisfied, because no matter which way you give them, they don't even realize the value of which way you give them. And now why that way I don't appeal to Anglophones them, say, yes, I understand many of them talk say the special status is not be good enough. Some people they talk say special status is just a name. It's just an empty container with nothing in it. My appeal for Unana say, people that go for market for go buy empty containers. Yes, that special status, if you consider I'm saying an empty container, that's fine. Use them now as a container for go for water, for go carry water, can't drink. Because consider yourself as people the way they did for Bamenda or for Boya, and the stream, Musa where water the flow, it then for Yaoundé. You need a container for go Yaoundé, for go carry the water, break them, for can feed your picking, whether not for wash clothes or not for cook chop or for drink. You need that water. You need the container in order for go put the water inside, bring them for your people, then for can serve them, or for can give them something to drink or to eat and to survive. So use the special status as that empty container. Now it be incumbent upon we, the generations where we did today, the educated ones them, we, the political elites them, the senators, parliamentarians them, the chiefs, the House of Chiefs, and all of those things them. Now use that special status as a container where you could go for Yaoundé, for go fill them up, go for market Yaoundé and the marketplace politically. Whether not tomato they give and put that inside that container, whether not potato, on our onions, on our fish, on our bushmeat, put them inside that container, bring them back home, can feed your people them. Use that special status. Nothing we will not gain them politically, it be useless. Not just castigate, talk to me, they throw them away. That is exactly the same mentality where we will get them when we come into this union as a federation, because they will not be appreciate what we will get them as a federal structure. We'll give them away. The veto power we will get them, we'll give them away, because we no be appreciate them, because we no be value them, because we Anglophones are a people who do not know what we want. The special status, whether you like them or not, whether you call them an empty container or not, it is an important political concession from the Cameroon central government, where if we be smart, we will use them to our advantage, and every single decade or every single year or every single month, if our political elites, they use that special status for go gain one small thing, put them inside that container, bring them home for our people them. Politics is a game of addition, not just adding your political partners, but also adding your political gains. As you go gain some small thing, you add them on top of the one where you don't gain them, and as so small, you gain enough for be autonomous or for wield a certain degree of power, for control certain things them politically for your people, so as for improve the lives and the livelihoods and the development of your people, my country people them. I rest my case.